Salam alaikum. Thank you everyone to participate this panel. I'm Jessica Wong, the founder and managing partner of EW Partners. I have been relocated in the region in Saudi for almost 7 years. And every day, I still learn a lot from our peers, the leadership from the market. That's why today, I'm very honored to host this panel and to sit with the leadership in the region. So I believe that today we got the honor to bring one of the fastest growth fintech company from Singapore. I believe that ADDX, actually, they are one of the digital technology company which are backed by token and in the region, and they're making their move here in Saudi as well. And we have Mr. محمد from the biggest digital wealth technology platform in Saudi. And then we have Mr. Abdulrahman, the leadership of the #1 bank in Saudi Arabia. So Mr. Huang, I noticed that this is the second time that you visit Saudi. So we know that nowadays, the technology and is shaping very fast in fintech and wealth tech. So what is the biggest opportunity you've seen here in the region?
Thank you, Jessica. So it's very honored to be here. Thank you for inviting me to this panel. It's very clear and very obvious the opportunity we are seeing in the region and in Saudi Arabia. Just walking around the conference, this very conference, you will see the vibrancy around this ecosystem that has been developed across the last few years. Of course, not to mention the economies are continuously growing. The AUMs are flowing in. And just looking at the reports from consulting companies like McKinsey, the digital penetration in the region is also one of the highest across the globe, which allows the different way, the fintech companies to think about different ways to engage with the client, provide services like personalization, AIs, digital advisory. This kind of the new innovation, new ideas can really realize because the users, the consumer behavior in the region is actually, as I mentioned, digital penetration, the digital adoption, usage of the mobile app is one of the highest in the global, across the globe. So as a fintech company headquartered in Singapore, we are actually also looking at expanding into the Middle East region. We are in the process of setting up our first office in the region. Hopefully, in the next few months, we will see our first office coming to life. And actually, we are also actively looking at Saudi Arabia as a market, this fast-growing market as our next step.
Thank you. Mohammed, the same question for you. As nowadays, the technology has significantly changed the landscape here in fintech and wealth tech. So what are the biggest opportunities that you observe here in the kingdom and in the region?
Thank you, Jessica, for inviting me on the stage. Welcome to our dear friend, Imo from Singapore. This has been really a fabulous event. The main opportunities, I think, is really within the structural part of Saudi Arabia. So if we look at our overall population as a kingdom of Saudi Arabia, we have around 65% between millennials and Gen Z. So this generation has a massive needs. They are at a certain age, a certain wealth pocket, and over time, their needs will continue to expand and grow at a much faster pace compared to any other time that we witnessed in the history of Saudi. Add to that people at this age are much more aware of the need for them to save, the need for them to invest, the need to build the wealth at a very early stage of their lives. They don't need to wait to be in their 50s or 60s to start really accumulating or saving wealth. They need to start at a very early stage. So this really opens a huge amount of opportunities for investment companies, wealth tech companies to grab a bigger portion of their wealth. Especially when this same generation is more interested in dealing with technology. They are not really married to big relationships or old relationships with some of the incumbents. What they are solving for is an excellent user experience. What they are trying to solve for is the least number of steps they need to take to open an investment account or to make a trade or to make an investment. So I think the opportunities are quite massive within the wealth tech. This generation, I think we are only scratching the surface of the opportunity with them there. Over the past few years, since the regulator opened the FinTech Lab or Sandbox, we have seen more than 250 companies emerging within that space, and I think much more to come in the future.
Wonderful. So, Abdulrahman, as you leading the strategy department of SNB Capital, I believe that you and the team has done tremendous work to study the market as it's shaping so rapidly today. So what's your view on the opportunities?
Thank you, Jessica, and thank you everyone to be here, and very glad to be here. So I would split the discussion into two themes. The first theme is when you enter an industry, you need to look at three main pillars in any industry you want to enter into. So the first aspect or pillar you want to focus on is the customer and consumer need of these products that you want to offer. The second one is the policymaker. So ensuring that there is a proper infrastructure from a policy, from a regulation, from also a desire from the government itself. And the third one, the innovation aspects, where there has to be some innovation taken into consideration to succeed the ideas of innovation. So looking at the Saudi, and the most important idea is the investors today, or clients in general, consumer, looking at the wealth management is a new concept. We have always been, from a behavior point of view, our nature invest directly. We do invest in a direct aspect. However, lately we've seen a great impact from a fintech solutions as well as wealth tech solution, provides great investment solution to support the industry. That said, today, as mentioned by His Excellency Mr. محمد الجدعان, the Ministry of Finance, that we have reached more than 200 fintechs in Saudi, and we're aiming to reach to above 500 in the next few years. In capital market today, wealth tech or wealth management was one of the pioneer industry that we're focusing on, or the technology impacting wealth management. And we've seen a great appetite. We've seen a lot of wealth tech solutions here in the forum. And we believe that it's going to continue tapping into other asset classes that could support the capital market.
Wonderful. That got me excited already.
If you allow me, the real, from stage you can see things clearer. If you look at most of the faces actually surrounding this room or outside, it's mostly people, I think, 30 years and below. This is the real opportunity we have here.
Yes. Yes, actually, you know that our firm has invested across a different emerging market for more than 17 in the last 2 decades. The young population base is also one of the most important factors that attract us to expand our footprint here. And it's also, so how to serve such a young population base, understand their requests, understand how to provide them personalized service, I think is indeed very important. So the next question for gentlemen will be, You know, comparing to Hong Kong, to Singapore, to US and Europe, the other mature market, actually nowadays Saudi is very young, very young market, not just the population base, but all kind of transforming happening here. So the next question to gentlemen will be, what, besides the opportunity, what are the biggest challenges that you observe nowadays here in the market on the ground? And what will be the solution for that? Yes.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to investment and wealth management, I think most crucial factor has been always the investor education. Especially platform like us, ADDX in Singapore, we provide access to like private equity fund, venture capital fund, hedge fund, which are more of a non-conventional investment, which are more alternative in nature. So what it means is that actually this product has been always more designed for institutional investors and high net worth individuals who are supposed to be more investment savvy. But now we are opening up the door for many other investors to come and invest into this kind of product. Actually, this is actually more to make sure that we can provide better risk and return profile, better portfolio diversification for the investors, for their own benefit. So, I mean, this kind of making sure our investors understands what they are buying into, making sure they are fully aware of the risk they are taking on. This has been one of the most critical hurdles we have been facing. So I mean, we have been as a firm, we have also put in various efforts, webinars, seminars, investor education with the global GPs to make sure they are more aware about this type of product and what kind of benefit it can bring, but at the same time, what are the risks they are additionally taking on.
Mohammed?
When I think of that younger generation, and I have 3 of them at home, I have three teenagers at home. So they like to spend more time on their phones than really socializing or spending time with their parents. They like to do things on their phone rather than really walking to a place and get things done. So the real challenge to me is with this generation is to enable them to do a financial transaction, to communicate, to advance, to provide them with suggestions, to provide them with ideas on their portfolio in a much personalized way that they want using the technology. They don't want to really be talking to anyone. They don't want to walk to a branch to get a service. They want to do this over their phone at any time on the day, night, they don't care. They want to get it done. So personalizing this large segment of the market, providing them with the tools that will enable them to process transactions, to achieve what they are aspired to do, all in your little screen smartphone. It's quite challenging, especially when the country, I would say, is in the direction really to bring a lot of hyperscalers, to bring a lot of, like Alibaba you work for, to really help the companies really import some analytical layers. The only way to solve for that is really by providing cutting-edge technologies, providing new ideas that will enable this generation to achieve their goals. At the end, they want really to transact in a way similar to when they go to Amazon and order a book or order something, similar in a way they go to Uber and they get their transportation done in seconds. They want really financial services to be done in the same fashion. On the other side of the equation, what we are trying also to solve for, this is a society that is quite vibrant. Wealth are moving through the generations. A new segment of the society is really emerging with a new wealth. Is how to encourage this wealth management sort of / saving within that society. We know that this is young, so they don't have a lot of money to save, but over time they will accumulate. We need really to make sure that we help them at a very early stage of their process.
Sounds like to me that maybe the wealth management should start from kindergarten.
Yeah, I'm just going to complement what Mohammed mentioned with regards to making sure that the younger generation are getting more knowledge, giving them some awareness. I think education from that aspect is crucial part for younger generation from KG level, as you mentioned, or also going above. Apart from that, I would add to the key, for example, development can be done here is, I was in Mumbai last week to attend the FinTech forum in Mumbai, and I've seen a huge FinTechs that would like to come and seek opportunities within the kingdom, as well as I think Saudis also needs to go on. So part of the education part, I think integration with the world. There are some great opportunities that comes from outside, and there are great fintech solution providers here in Saudi that could be supportive to the other world, which I think we should take it, us, SNB Capital, and maybe Abu Abdullah, Muhammad Shemasi, and others, could enhance that by having some platforms in a fund structure where we can invest internally or also externally, where we can use our fintech solutions that we have in Saudi, but also we can also use some other outsiders to come to the Saudi and provide these kind of solutions to the kingdom.
I think this is a very valuable point. Actually, I believe that maybe the next chapter's innovation will be driven by a lot of cross-border solution, technology, integration. And I think that is also one of the reasons we are all here today to exchange our experience and know-how. So talking back to the topic of integration, Abdul Rahman, you know SNB is the biggest bank group here in the kingdom. And you, right now, you are not just kind of represent the traditional banking, but also I believe that your group is also exploring very aggressively how to integration the digitalization solution to the traditional banking. So could you please share some of your experience?
Sure. So we came from a story of a merge between NCB at that time and Samba. When we have the merge and we created a new company called SNB Capital, or SNB and then the SNB Capital, our strategy was built into use our balance sheet to invest and develop our solutions in-house and inside the company. So we've worked into adding a venture capital asset class to our company, where the venture capital can provide and help us in moving towards a transformation from a digital aspect. And we've started doing that to enhance our systems and solution, but also to have another angle of development of the capital market as well. Today, we have started our investments in VCs like Mala'a, which is a wealth tech solution partners. We invested, we avail our products, our offerings from mutual funds as well as private offerings as well through these platforms. This is not the end of it, but we're gonna continue. Having a third-party provider will help us to simulate, accelerate our digital transformation towards our clients.
Wonderful. Mohammed, I personally admire your passion and your sensitivity of observing, you know, all the user scenarios here on the ground. So your firm is one of the most advanced digital wealth management platform here in the kingdom with the largest user base. So I believe that you process a different kind of new opportunity and solutions on daily basis. So based on your understanding and based on your observation, what kind of technology in your mind will significantly shape this sector in the next 5 years?
I think we are still at a very early stage here in the kingdom when compared really to some global trends that emerged a few years ago. just to pick few of the themes that we are still, I would say, lagging behind, and I think it represents a massive opportunity. Within the digital assets space, we have a very little presence here in the kingdom within that space. Within the artificial intelligence, we are, I think, at the very beginning, not only in Saudi, but also globally, facing that sort of a revolution of AI that is ahead of us. If I look at specific issues within the kingdom, I think insurance products and saving products, I would say we are at the very, very beginning. They don't represent even 1% of the overall saving in the kingdom. So we have still a massive room to grow versus any other economy, not only within the advanced, but even within emerging markets. I think this has been historically a neglected part of the financial ecosystem, which I think will grow significantly over time. Last but not least, and I think wealth management for the mass segment is really at a very infant stage within the process. We have players emerging, the one Abdurrahman mentioned, Mala'a and others, but I think we have much more in the future that will continue to grow and thrive.
If I just want to add to what Muhammad mentioned, that on the product offerings that can be used through a fintech solutions, 2 days ago, His Excellency Mr. Mohammed Al-Guwais mentioned that algorithm trading is one of the oldest aspects that fintechs has been using this. We've seen a growth in Saudi in the algorithm trading. This is an area that can always be different strategy of algorithm. What we're doing now is just the basics algorithm. We have some great products that offered by the exchange using the co-location, but definitely the kind of trading strategy is one of these key elements that could be provided. In addition to Gen AI and AI, this is a massive strategies and could enhance whether productivity as well as the offering of capital market institution.
Wonderful, thank you. So, Mr. Huang, the next question for you is, we know that actually Singapore nowadays lead a lot of innovation in the Asia Pacific. So what is the key region that drive you to this part of the world? And as ADDX plays also a quite significant role in the blockchain and token technology sector, what kind of a difference that you believe that your firm can bring to the kingdom, and later on is supporting maybe other players' innovation?
I mean, the blockchain tokenization, this has been around the market for a while, but still, these are also still in a nascent stage. Various players, including the banks, exchanges, traditional stock exchanges, or fintech like ourselves, we have been trying out various different options. What would be the right use case? So, I mean, as a player like us, as I mentioned, we have been in commercial operations since 2020. We have done more than 50 to 60 different tokenization projects with the global GPs, SMEs in the region to make sure we can finance them in a more efficient way. In fact, actually, recently we launched our digital commercial paper program for some of the SMEs in Singapore. We actually reduced up to like 90% of the issuance-related expenses. So SMEs who are not able to access debt capital market before, it's quite affordable for them to use the debt capital market to raise working capital, fulfill their capex needs, and so on and so on. So having been through this process, testing out various legal framework, addressing regulatory concerns, these are the kind of the know-hows that we maintain, which we believe that we can actually bring to the Middle East region, helping both companies who are looking to raise capital in a more efficient manner, by reducing, offering them the lower cost fundraising. At the same time, allowing investors the broader investment product, not just a mutual fund or stock trading, but also the investment into venture capital fund, hedge fund, which they were not able to do so in the past. So we can actually bring this kind of experience that we went through. We spent the last 5 years to develop all these know-hows. We believe that we can actually bring this into the table in the region and actually help both issuers and investors in this side of the world.
Thank you. Actually, in the last 2.5 days, I personally gained a lot of great energy from the event. And we can see that, you know, unlike other markets, the regulator are no longer sitting behind the scene. Actually, they are very aggressively, you know, reach out and then host events like such to encourage great minds from all over the world come here to share their experience and explore potential partnership together. So, and this actually is a very, great element to the environment, to the ecosystem. So I would like to raise the last question to gentlemen. So what's your view on the regulation nowadays in Saudi Arabia, and how that gonna impact the industrial development in the next few years? Abdulrahman?
So I think, so I used to work in a CMA, so I'll be a little bit biased towards that, but I think CMA and SAMA they play a very important role in developing the market. So they are taking the aspects of developing the market more than focusing on gardening the market at this time. And they are a key player to enable fintechs and other solution providers to support the whole capital market and banking industry. We've seen a great initiative that comes from a sandbox. All of these fintechs, we're seeing them here in this conference, are coming through those enablers, which is SAMA and CMA and also the Authority of Insurance. This is not happening on a day or two. It took them a while. They've been, in fact, opening these kind of sandbox before even people knocks the door. So that shows enablers, that shows importance and wanted and desire to support the economy as well. I'll just add one more thing, that the new concept is coming to the market. We've seen it, open finance or open banking, open investments, open finance. And I think these are moving the ideas or the data from capital market institution to the ownership of the client themselves, which I think that also support the idea of what we discussed earlier, education. This is where a 360 view for existing clients who can see his own assets, all assets in one platform, that definitely would enhance also and support the capital market as well as the economy from all angles.
Mohammed, what's your view?
When you look at regulated sectors globally, it's very hard to innovate and come up with new ideas when you are boxed within certain, text of regulations. Regulations sometimes can be quite challenging for you to innovate.
Yes.
And most of the innovation comes on the gray area. It doesn't really come from black or white. And regulations typically offer you black or white solutions. So it was very smart, I think, of the regulators here to create sandbox environment, to create fintech labs that will enable smart entrepreneurs to come up with ideas and share them with the regulator. At the time when they don't have anything to regulate, give them a special license, give them a permission to operate, give them some leeway to offer this product in the market, test it, see if there is any market fit with that product. Then over time, when this idea gains a scale, when this idea gains acceptance, attraction within the market, they can move and offer this in a regulated fashion, or they become licensed to offer this product. this is a very smart approach to regulate within the financial space, especially when people's saving at stake, people's money at stake. So many things can go wrong within that process. But when you put them in an experimental environment, when you put them in within specific parameters, not to exceed certain number of deposits, not to exceed certain number of transactions, you can really see for the founder himself, for the regulator, if this is really working or not. And allowing for this environment, we have seen over the past few years, more than 200 companies really emerged and trying to challenge the status quo within the financial sector and come up with the new ideas. We have seen already one IPO of these companies really in the market, and I think much more will follow in the future.
Fair enough. Mr. Huang?
I mean, of course, I don't have first-hand experience working with a regulator in the kingdom, but over the last 2 days, hearing from the various speakers, interacting with the various participants, I feel that there is, I mean, the regulation in Saudi Arabia is becoming, inviting the new ideas, trying to become very flexible, foster the innovation, which as a business owner, the fintech owner like myself, was quite exciting to see that it's happening. So it's really great to explore the market expansion into the, I was thinking that it was a great choice to decide that we want to expand into the Middle East region, seeing all this happening.
Yes, I think that from that perspective, gentlemen here definitely will have a lot of experience and maybe later on could share with you. So thank you for your time today, and thank you for the generous audience today. So hope that we can continue the dialogue and all making our small effort to the innovation here in the kingdom later on. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jessica. Thank you, Emma.